Welcome to the Heart of Herbs Herbal School podcast, where we explore the fascinating world of herbal medicine and natural healing. I'm your host, Demetria Clark, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey of discovery. At Heart of Herbs Herbal School, we're passionate about empowering individuals to harness the power of plants for health and wellness. Through our podcast, we'll dive into topics ranging from herbal materia medicas, clinical herbalism, sharing insights, interviews, tips, and wisdom to inspire and educate our listeners. Hi, this is Demetria Clark, and this is the Heart of Herbs Herbal School podcast. And so today's podcast is a little bit different. It's actually going to be part one. We're going to do a part one and a part two about this subject because I think it's really important, and I think it's going to be really helpful for any of our students or listeners who are either have an herbal business or are thinking about starting an herbal business and the different strategies that you can use to really take your business to the next level. So, let us begin. Growing your herbal business. Today, we're going to be talking about the online marketing strategies that you can use, and part two will be offline marketing strategies that you can use. Okay, so hi, welcome to the Heart of Herbs Herbal School podcast. I'm Demetria Clark, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today as we explore the exciting world of herbal business, holistic marketing, and living naturally. So listen, I have run a successful online company since I was 22 or 21 years old, right? So I know how it's done. I know what you should look for. And I've seen all of the changes in the online space in reference to marketing, strategy, design, blah, blah, blah. I've seen it all. I have been doing this and been in this space online for over half of my life now. So, the advice that I'm going to give you is real, actionable, and usable advice. I am not going to sit here and tell you buy this ABC system or hire, a curated marketing team to help you. I mean, you can obviously do that, but what I am here to do is to give you the tools to help you have a thriving herbal business. So, if you're an herbalist or run a business selling herbal products, I know how passionate you are about plants and natural living and the environment and herbal issues, but let's be honest, loving what you do is just the beginning. And I always say to my students and the people that I mentor, and I've mentored quite a few people into multi-million-dollar herbal businesses. So I shouldn't say just herbal, a holistic wellness, stuff like that. So that's the blessing, right? Being able to love your job is a real blessing. But at the end of the day, you need to have a steady stream of customers to thrive. So loving your job is a bonus. I always feel like I'm really lucky that I've always been able to enjoy the work that I do. If you don't enjoy the work that you do, you still need to find a way to be successful and to work within that framework or to move on to another thing. But what I want to help you with today and in today's episode is all about smart, friendly marketing strategies that can make a big difference both online and offline. So offline will be part two, which I think is a lot of times people forget how important offline marketing is. And so I think you guys are really going to enjoy that episode too to help your business flourish. And for those of you eager to deepen your expertise and to take your herbal business and your herbal studies to a new height, please check out Heart of Herbs Herbal School. We have a class for you, and it can help you turn your passion into a profitable, thriving, sustainable business. All right. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's get started on this exciting journey about growing your herbal business and the online space. So why does marketing even matter for herbal businesses? Marketing can often feel overwhelming, especially in today's fast-paced and competitive market. A lot of people feel like marketing has to be like perfect, or it has to be like curated content. Like, we love using those kind of words, right? But the good news is that successfully promoting your business doesn't have to be complicated. So whether your passion lies in crafting exquisite handcrafted teas, making effective tinctures, or developing nourishing skincare products, or offering insightful herbal consultations, having a strategic marketing approach is essential to attract customers and build lasting trust. A well-structured marketing plan is your ticket to achieving some of these benefits. So the first would be expanding your reach. With the right strategies in place, you can connect with a wider audience who are actively seeking herbal products like the ones that you have. You can utilize social media platforms, online marketplaces, and local events to showcase your unique offerings. Craft engaging content that highlights the benefits of your products and resonates with your market. Look, it's okay to show your personality. Be funny. It's really funny. Like, I'm so online boring, right? I just am. That's just who I am as a person. I don't know why, but still I find a way to make the online boring, like personality wise, work for me. It's really funny. People will be like, when they meet me in person, they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea you were this funny, or I had no idea this or that. So even though I'm running a successful, thriving business, I still am like thinking about ways to showcase to my students and customers who I am as a human being, and that in turn helps expand my reach. You're also going to want to cultivate customer loyalty. So building a loyal customer base is key to long-term success. Engage with your customers through newsletters, personalized offers, and loyalty programs. Make them feel valued by soliciting their feedback and incorporating their suggestions. So even in our classrooms, we always ask students how we can make things better. Some things we can totally implement and change. Other things, it's like, that's not possible, or there has to be like, people be like, I wish you'd talk more about like this really in-depth topic that isn't covered in what we do. And I would love to, but it's like, you have to have a limit on some of the things that you can do. But if they make a suggestion about, I'd love a lecture about whatever, I can be like, oh, I can implement that. I can do that. Or I can have a student connection call that's about that. So think about things differently. When your customers, clients, students, whoever feel appreciated, they're more likely to return and recommend your brand to others. Differentiate yourself in the crowded market. So look, being true to yourself and being true to your ideals and what you believe in is one of the great ways to stay true to yourself in this really crowded market. The wellness industry is bustling with competition, making it crucial to find your niche. We're also finding that there's a lot of creep in our space from other industries that are wanting to cash in. So we're finding like there's a lot of like influencers who are suddenly like, oh, I want to do this. And even though they don't have the education experience, they can hire a company that can curate or customize something for them, and then they become a leader in that industry, even though they don't have a lot of education and experience. And that's because they're using their niche to connect with their customers, and then they're investing money into it. Well, not all of us have all this kind of money or a huge colossal budget, right, to be able to do that. So if you're staying true to yourself, you are going to reach your people, and you're going to have a longer, more sustainable business, because dumping money into something does not ensure success. So whether you're sourcing organic ingredients, following sustainable practices, or like really crafting outstanding herbal remedies, definitely look for ways to make your product stand out. And the biggest way for your product to stand out is you. So the best part is you don't need a massive budget or years of experience in the business world to make an impact. With the right mix of online strategies, you can effectively connect with your ideal customers. So leverage social media marketing, search engine optimization, and content marketing to build an online presence. At the same time, don't underestimate the power of community involvement. So that will be also, we're going to be talking about that part in the offline presence. The next would be expanding your herbal business digitally, right? So this part of the online marketing is where you live digitally online. So the first and foremost is your website, your herbal storefront, your tea shop online, where you live online. If you don't live online with a website, we will also be talking about how you can use things like a Facebook business page to help you get into that space and to get started. So your business website is your digital home. It's where potential customers can explore your products, place orders, and connect with you. So listen, even if you don't have like a really fully functioning website yet, have a way for them to connect with you or get on your email list. So when you're ready to roll, they can, be alerted and they can order and they can get involved. You can have a email list for that or one that has tips. So you can definitely make your website, even before it's done, start working for you. You're going to want to keep it simple and clean. Clutter-free designs help visitors navigate easily. Use calm colors and easy-to-read fonts that reflect the natural essence of your herbal products. Do not have your website or your blog full of ads and pop-ups and things people have to close to read it, because guess what? They'll leave. Unless your blog is like viral and it's making you thousands of dollars a month or hundreds of dollars a month, making the experience more pleasurable for the readers is going to be more helpful. Include a shop section. So look, use your website as a place to showcase your products that you have for sale. If you don't necessarily want to have a large shop, you can have, the shop section also have a place where they can book consultations, where they can, book a, discovery call with you. You can use platforms like Etsy or Shopify if you want, or you can do your own e-commerce, which I think is really the way to go in a lot of ways. Etsy and Shopify, those are great platforms, but those are very congested platforms too. So you may want to look at having your own way for people to get to you. They can see what you have right there. Even if you're redirecting them to spend money at another place that has your products, like give them clear images and descriptions of your products. Let them know your product's made, how it's made, what the ingredients are. Don't let them leave your site with a question about your product. Give them all the information. So look, if I'm looking at a product online and it's a natural product and I try to see the ingredients and they don't have them listed on the website, I just don't even bother staying. If they don't tell me where it's made, I don't bother staying. You want to know why? I don't want to have to ask questions to spend money with you. So make it so they don't have to ask any questions to spend money with you. If you're, you can say where your things are sourced. You can definitely, the more information you give people, the more likely they're going to be to shop with you. Now, that doesn't mean that customers are not going to come and ask questions about things you have answered on your page. That happens all the time. Hey, what are the ingredients in this? And there's literally an ingredients thing on the page. Sometimes people don't have the time to look, or it's easier for them to email you, or sometimes they just want to hear from you before they spend money. So definitely make everything in your shop clear and concise with beautiful descriptions, but also make sure that you get back to people via email or your form, your contact form, or something like that, to make sure that some people just want to be seen before they spend the money. And so give people that option to be seen by you. You can start a blog on your website. So sharing your knowledge can go a great way. Or you can share like why. So if you have like a salve that's really fabulous and you don't necessarily want to give everyone the recipe, but you can tell people why the ingredients in it are so great and so lovely for your skin or whatever that you're doing. You can also give people recipes if you want that are of other things that they can make, or you can have a little herb profile page, or you can tell them, what's going on your farm or what you're growing. Like, this is a way that people can find you and learn more about you. It's funny because sometimes I'm like, I don't think anybody reads a blog on Heart of Herbs. I'm like, there's nobody reads this, right? And then every now and then someone's like, oh my gosh, I read this blog thing and I really, really had to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, cool. So it does matter having the information out there. Now, you don't have to have it out there. You don't have to have a blog, but you definitely need people to be able to get in contact with you and to navigate through your site easily. So look, SEO matters. To get your website found, integrate relevant keywords into your content. So if you're using something like WordPress or any of the other website builders, they're going to probably have suggestions for SEO or SEO tools, and you're going to want to pretty much follow those. So you can improve your chances of appearing in searches by using phrases that are things your customers are going to search looking for you. So like if you sell tea, organic herbal tea, or if you sell herbal skincare, you could say why yours is the best herbal skincare. So when someone searches best herbal skincare, you're going to come up in the search results. Another thing that is really, really important, right? And a lot of people gloss over this, or they just use it as an opportunity to talk about their family, is the About Us section. So your About Us page is not just a formality. It's a powerful marketing tool that allows visitors to connect with your brand. So why is it important? It builds trust. People want to know who they're buying from, especially in herbal wellness or holistic health spaces. It allows you to tell your story. So customers love authenticity, and you can share why you started it, where your passion comes from, what your history is. And then you can also use this as a way to highlight your mission, your values, and your expertise, and differentiate yourself from your competitors. It also can boost SEO. A well-written About Us page with keywords like handcrafted herbal remedies or natural skincare business can help improve your search rankings. Here are some things to include in your About Us. So, one of the mistakes I see is a lot of times people will be writing about their About Us page, and then they don't, it's hard to write. Like, I have a hard time writing like, why should you study with Demetria? She's the best in the whole wide world. You feel like cheesy, right? But it's okay to be a little cheesy because we all feel cheesy talking about ourselves. But what I see often when I do I do website audits with our students, like, hey, let me check out your website, and I'll go and look and I'll be like, why are we talking about your partner? Like, they don't have a direct, like, they're not working for the business, or they're not the inspiration behind why you started it, or why are we learning so much about your kids? Look, I know they're important to you and they're important and lovely people in your life, but my husband is not the driving force behind my company, so I wouldn't necessarily want to talk too much about him. Now, I'm not saying that he's not important and he's not important to the company and stuff, but what I am saying is that you really have to get comfortable talking about yourself. Now, of course, you just heard me say I myself even struggle with that. So I'm not saying that, this is going to be like easy or whatever. Some people do a really good job. Other people struggle. So we want to include information that's relevant to the work that you do. So your origin story. How did your herbal business begin? What was the inspiration behind it? What are your core missions and values? So what drives your work? Sustainability, organic sourcing, natural products, healthcare for children. What drives your work? And then what is your expertise? Where did you go to school? And I always tell students, like, so I think there's a little bit of gatekeeping in herbalism. And so, like, we need to make sure that we are open and honest about our skills, our skill levels, and where we studied. As the years have gone by, more and more clients are calling to verify that someone actually completed their training through us. And that used to never happen. People are becoming more of an educated consumer in reference to that. So if you just say I studied herbalism for a long time, a lot of people are like, that's not gonna pass like my thing. I'm not saying you have to have formal education, but I'm saying if you highlight that, it does create a sense of comfort for your customers. You can add personal touches like photos of you or your team, the animals that you have that work with you. You can do all that kind of fun stuff. All right. If you are not tech savvy and you're freaking out right now about this whole website space, right? Do not worry. There are user-friendly platforms like Squarespace, Wix, or WordPress that makes it easy to create a beautiful website with minimal hassle. You can choose from a variety of templates to customize and get them to match your brand without a lot of coding skills. You can also watch like YouTube videos on how to do this. Like, it's really cool. Like, there really isn't a question that you can't answer out there. So definitely look at, tutorials and stuff like that if you're having a problem. There's some that even have like drag and drop kind of things. There's definitely stuff out there. I think even now in tools like Canva, you can create a website. And if you're not doing something that's really, really super in depth, like if you have a clinical practice and you don't need 60 or 100 different pages for each of your products, then you can do something like that. Also, don't be afraid to make and save templates within it so you can read. So if you have a product page, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You can just create a new product page from a template that you're using each time. And a lot of those platforms will allow you to save your own template within it based on a template that maybe you're working with. The Heart of Herbs Herbal School Podcast. So, social media. Build your herbal community and attract customers. Social media is a powerful tool to connect with customers, showcase your expertise, and build brand awareness. I know right now it can feel really hard to be in that space because it feels like so much of that space is just lots and lots of ads, lots and lots of, things not offering value, lots and lots of, stuff that's not real or AI. So I know that can be a little daunting at times, but here's some of the keys. Show up consistently and provide value. So instead of only focusing or posting about your products, focus on engaging, educating, and inspiring your audience. Here are some tips to help social media work for your herbal business. So think of Instagram and Facebook as your herbal storytelling platforms. These two platforms are great for visual storytelling and community engagement. So listen, if you don't have a website, you can start off with a Facebook business page and really use that the same way people would use a website. You can allow people to schedule appointments with you from there. You can purchase products off of the business page, or you can send them to a place where they can purchase your products. So definitely look at Facebook as a tool that works for you. I know a lot of people have a love-hate deal with social media, but start looking at Facebook as a tool for you that's helping you help other people. So what are some things that you can post? So some of it is like behind the scenes content. Show how you make your products, harvest herbs, or prepare your tinctures. You can have customer reviews and testimonials, share stories from happy customers and how your products have helped them. Educational posts. Teach your audience about the benefit of different herbs, recipes, self-care tips. Engaging reels and short videos, so you can do quick herbal tips, FAQs, day in the life of an herbalist type content. You can also look at things like interactive content, polls, Q&As, quizzes, and then user-generated content. So repost pictures and testimonials from customers who love your product. Some best practices are to use high-quality images and video, clear, well-lit, and aesthetically pleasing content performs the best. Include calls to action, tag a friend who needs this, DM me to order. Use relevant hashtags, so herbalist life, plant medicine, natural healing, holistic health, and engage with comments and DMs quickly. This can build trust and boost visibility. So video content platforms. So Instagram, YouTube, there's other platforms out there that do a lot with video content. One would be like something like TikTok or something like that. So short form videos are the fastest way to reach new customers and establish yourself as an expert. So you can do things like DIY herbal remedies. So you can showcase how people can use herbal products, how to make herbal teas, how to, choose herbs for products, or shop for herbs, things like that. You can do quick educational videos, so how to make fire cider, 3 herbs to help you sleep better. You can do myth-busting content, so you can address common misconceptions about herbs and holistic health. So one of the things that I'm always myth-busting is like, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's safe. And so there is this conception that sometimes just because something's natural, it's automatically safe. And the reality is that we know that isn't always true. You can do time-lapse videos, personal stories, share why you became an herbalist and what motivates you. You can, incorporate things like trending audio and challenges and trends to your niche content. Keep your short form video engaging and to the point, 10 to 30 seconds. You can do longer videos on a platform like YouTube, 5 to 15 minutes can work well. Use keywords and hashtags. I know everyone says hashtags are dead, but that's not really true when you go and look. They're still there and they're still present. Engage with the comments and respond to questions to help build your community. Another really popular platform for this kind of work is Pinterest. So you can drive traffic to your website or blog using Pinterest. It's a powerful but very underrated platform, which is kind of funny because there's a lot of stuff on Pinterest. Like half the time when I'm looking up something, Pinterest is always suggested as a place for me to look. So I would definitely tell you to relook at Pinterest. I think a lot more people use it, and your pins can stay relevant for months or even years if they're optimized well. So what to pin? Herbal recipes. You can pin step-by-step guides for teas, tinctures, and salves. You can pin your product images and descriptions. You can pin your blog post. If you write about herbal remedies, self-care, or holistic health, you can pin those. You can pin your infographics and educational visuals. So like how to make an herbal tea and a visual on how to do that. You're going to want to create beautiful vertical pins. So 1000 by 1500 pixels is ideal. Add keywords in your pin description. So natural remedies for stress release using herbs. Use Pinterest SEO. So name your board strategically: holistic wellness tips, natural herbal remedies, best skincare products for acne, whatever you're working on, that's how you're going to want to do it. And you're going to want to try to pin consistently. So you can use storytelling to connect with your customers, and you can use it on these different platforms, right? So buy my elderberry syrup can then become elderberries have been used for centuries to support immune health. When I first started making this syrup, it was for my own family during cold and flu season. Now I love sharing it with my customers so they can keep their families happy too. Did you see the difference? So what was the difference when I said that? Well, you gave customers an opportunity to feel connected with you emotionally. And that's what business is. It's about making emotional connections. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to want to do in reference to online strategy, right, is be consistent. You can batch create content, track what works, and engage with your audience. All right. Okay, and so next we're going to cover building your email list. And so a lot of people are out there being like, email list marketing's dead, email lists are dead. But we still subscribe to them, and we still open them, and we still read them, and we still send them out. So that tells me it's not as dead as they want. I think sometimes when they want you to start marketing a new way, the world out there or social media or whatever, they'll do all these things like such and such is dead, so they can get you to buy their lead generating tool or tip or whatever. And the reality is nothing's dead. The reality is you have to go where your people are. So you may find that maybe your people aren't into email list and you won't have to do this. But most people still subscribe to email lists. They still look at them. They still click on links in them. So you definitely want to consider having an email list. And there's lots of great tools out there that you can use. So start by creating an email list that serves as a direct line of communication with your customers, clients, potential customers, for your Advantage members or whatever, right? So here are some tips to encourage signups. Create a lead magnet so you can offer a freebie, guide to herbal remedies for beginners, or best tea for skincare, whatever. This incentivizes signups, but it also helps to establish your authority in this space. Simplify the process. Make it easy for your audience to join your list. Include sign-up forms on your website, social media pages, the bottom of blog posts, during events. Keep the fields to a minimum. Just an email address will do initially. Highlight the benefits. So clearly communicate with subscribers that they will gain something such as exclusive offers, discounts, valuable content like tips and recipes. What to send. Now that you've built your list, what content do you want to share? So, special discounts and exclusive offers. So make your subscribers feel special by providing them with exclusive deals that aren't available elsewhere. Educational content. So this could be recipes, tips, interviews, links to podcast interviews or interviews people have done with you or things that you find of value. You can create a monthly newsletter featuring like the herb of the month with fun facts and usage ideas. And then you can also do some behind the scenes. So give your subscribers an insider look into your brand, stories about, if you run an herb farm and you have farm pets or animals or certain flowers you like, you can add that information. So automate with ease. So use something like MailChimp, Aweber, Flowdesk, ConvertKit, those kind of things to streamline your email marketing. These tools allow you to segment your audience and automate your emails. What is segmentation? So this is a separate list based on interest or past purchases, so you can customize and personalize your outreach. And what does automation mean? This means that you can set up emails like welcome emails, birthday discounts, etc., to remind your clients of seasonal products or to keep them engaged with you year-round. So engagement is key. Ask them to participate, include polls, invite feedback, ask them to share something that's special to them. This not only fosters community, but helps enhance engagement and loyalty. So with the email list, you need to do this. So one of the things I always think is hysterical is so we have an email list and I don't add you to it. You have to add yourself to it, right? And you can unsubscribe by clicking the unsubscribe button at the bottom. We don't manually add people to our list. We don't pull people off. We let you decide. So with an email list, you need to obtain their permission. So one of the ways we obtain permission is by you have to go through the process. You have to confirm it. You have to say that you wanted to be on this list. We do not buy email list. We follow the laws like the Can Spam Act, the GDPR Act in Europe, and the CASL Act in Canada. We do not buy email lists. It's illegal and it can hurt your reputation as a business. We do not add anyone without consent. We don't scrape emails from social media or business cards. We use a sign-up form where people are actively agree to receive our emails. We also make it so they have to confirm that this is something that they want to be on. You can offer a freebie or an herbal recipe guide in exchange for signing up. So you can offer people something for them giving you that information. Have an easy unsubscribe option. So every email must include an unsubscribe link. Don't make it difficult. 1 or 2 clicks should allow people to opt out. I hate it when I go to opt out of an email list and they want to ask me like 20 questions. It really, really, really is annoying. You need to honor unsubscribe requests immediately. So if you went and unsubscribed from our email list, you're automatically taken off. We have that automated. Do not add people back. So we have some people who are like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to unsubscribe, or I unsubscribed and now I'm not getting the coupons. I want to resubscribe or whatever. Then I tell them where to go do that. I don't do that for them. Identify yourself clearly. So you need to have an email address, a name, physical business address, a PO box or your business location is fine. Avoid deceptive subject lines. So really be clear about who you are. Protect your subscriber data. So if you have subscribers from Europe, you must get explicit consent to collect and store their email addresses. You must allow them to view, edit, or delete their data upon request and have a privacy policy explaining how to use subscriber data. So when you use a system, they are going to probably have all of this set up for you. Best practices for growing and managing your email list. Offer upfront value like a freebie, discount code to your herbal shop or your products, access to a private wellness community or something like that is really helpful too. And then where do you want to promote your email list? You could do a website pop-up, social media, and then if you do events, you can do them at events also. How often should you do your email list? So some people say, it doesn't really matter. You can do it as many times as you want. And I think that that is okay advice, but I do think you need to be consistent. So if you're going to do 1 or 2 times a week, then you definitely need to stay consistent with that. You can also stay consistent with like doing it once a month or do quarterly ones and let people know these are quarterly things that we send out. Do not send them out every single day. So what to send? Herbal tips, DIY recipes, product features, seasonal wellness advice, special offers, new product launches, and then some up-to-date updates and behind-the-scenes content. You can use, I already mentioned these, but you can use like MailChimp, Aweber, ConvertKit, Flowdesk. There's lots of different things out there. You're going to want to build a trustworthy and legal email list. So always get permission before adding people to your list. Provide an easy way to unsubscribe. Be transparent about who you are and how you use the data. Offer consistent value to keep people engaged. By implementing these strategies, you'll be well on your way to transforming your business into one that operates ethically and soundly online and will really help grow your herbal business. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, we're going to have a part 2 to this, which is offline business marketing tips. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Interested in learning more? Visit heartofherbs.com and enroll using coupon code PODCAST to save 20%. The content provided in this podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It's always recommended to consult a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, lifestyle, or health regime, especially if you have an existing health condition. Any of the financial information and advice for starting or maintaining an herbal business is just that, information. It's not used to be a guideline on how you should run your business. Contact the appropriate professionals to help you to have a successful business.